I'm going to be doing an extended video of a special delivery from this company. So, what is this snare drum about? I probably just exploded my phone with doing that because I have a crappy phone. But anyway, we'll see. This snare drum is called the 1026. And this thing is, it's lighter than my World Max snare, which is, one second. So this is my World Max snare drum. And it's freaking awesome. I put pure sound, right? This is just really, really awesome. This snare drum, it came in a Ludwig box, which is very funny, very, very interesting. But it really resembles a Pearl. Now that I look at it, and I've seen some other drums, it really resembles a Pearl, what is it, a Heritage or Sensitone? The lugs, just the whole thing just looks like a workhorse Pearl snare drum. And even the way they did the badge on the Pearl drum that this resembles, the Pearl badge is also oval-ish like this. Anyway, this one has been, I do concerts with this drum. This has been my lesson drum for years and years. I have Tama key locks, Tama screw locks on them, which are awesome. They work. Never have to worry about my head detuning, especially rim shots. I'm rim shotting, you know, all day long, pretty much, and that's what detunes the head a lot faster than anything else. Anyway, so this is an amazing drum. Throw off. It's chrome, shiny. It's beautiful. But seeing as I'm now working with Premier, they were so nice, by the way. I told them that I love my World Max and that I needed some kind of arrangement where I could continue to use my World Max snare drum. And that was part of it, and they were so nice in understanding that. But I'm at the same time, I'm also really interested in and devoted to sharing what Premier is again. I've been with them for so long now. I've been playing their drums for so long now, and it's time I really start explaining why. I have a lot of love for Premier drums, but I've never had a serious Premier snare, and I figured, well, I'm working on Stairway to Heaven with a few of my students, and that got me thinking, well, Bonham was really known for playing Ludwig Superphonic, and other people played that drum as well, but he kind of, I guess in the rock idiom, in the rock world, made that popular to the rockers. He was originally with Premier and moved to Ludwig when they had when they went to America. Same thing with Ringo Starr. So the story goes, so I figured, well, you know, I'm working with this song. Wouldn't it be cool? I'm already playing my vintage Paiste hats working with this song, and that's really cool. I have the crashes as well that Bonham was using. He always had 18-inch, well, it's kind of a rumor that he had an 18-inch Paiste crash ride always hanging out with him, and I have two of them. They're awesome cymbals, really awesome cymbals, but they definitely they project really well, and they need a bigger arena than I currently play in to use them. I use them in lessons sometimes. Anyway, so I thought maybe it'd be cool if I got the famous 1026 snare. Why? Because apparently this snare, Premier's 1026, is supposed to be Premier's response to the Ludwig Superphonic snare drum. Rumor has it, and don't crucify me if I'm wrong here, but I did a lot of investigation, and I always find the articles, drummers all over the internet saying that's the response, that's Premier's effort to create a Ludwig Superphonic, and it's also like half the price. So what's that all about? I'm still looking for more information on the drum, so this is probably going to be part one. But to my knowledge, they investigated the dimensions of the Ludwig Superphonic and tried to replicate it in the Premier fashion. And so you have the same makeup, the same way the shell is, and of course the chrome is like, there's something about the chrome. It's just like, I know the World Max has great chrome too, right? Put them side by side, see what happens. I mean, it's pretty close. I mean, depending. I mean, it's hard to tell a difference now, but I did get compliments. Something about the chrome, I don't know. I got compliments. First day I brought it yesterday, and people were like, "What is that?" And I've been bringing my World Max all the time, and they're like, "Wow, it's a beautiful drum." So I don't know. They're known to be the Rolls Royce of drums because at one time, I don't know if they still do, but Premier was supplying was chroming the parts of the Rolls Royce car for a long time. There's rumors that Premier was also chroming other companies' drums. I don't know to what extent. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, this drum, the 1026 drum, is just a shock to me how awesome it is. Now, I don't even have tape on it. I got nothing on it. There's the inside. The guy I bought it from, he has a True Tone strainer here. Maybe it looks like brass. I'm not sure exactly with the makeup of that strainer, so I have to check it out. But there's no muffler or anything. I didn't put any tape on this, and it just sounds. It just sings. It just like explosion. It just explodes in front of you in a very. I don't know if this makes any sense, but in a very kind of B8 way. Talking about cymbals, B8 cymbals, the alloy, the Cuisine 8 Paiste 2002 cymbal alloy, it has a particular kind of high frequency ring to them that shimmers when you play them. That ring carries on, and it just kind of adds a kind of shimmer. It adds a shimmer to the crashes, and this snare has that kind of shimmer to it when you play rim shots, when you lay into it. It rings in a very unlike any of my other snare drums. I mean, I have a Ludwig Acrolite. I got a student model equivalent Slingerland of the time. I have a modified Rogers deep shell snare. I have a Tama red badge, which basically is like a king beat, but it's red badge. It's not. It's from the Swing Star, vintage Swing Star, so it's red badge. I have the Ludwig Vistalite. I have a Ludwig soprano snare, soprano snare, piccolo snare, like the black and white badge. I have an old Premier Olympic that I'm going to be selling. So I mean, I played there at work. They have some pearls and a Tama. And I mean, it's been going on for a long time, so I have a pretty good idea of what snares sound like. And this one, just like I said, it has that special shimmer that I find with the Pisces 2002s. It's really nice. It also reminded me, it has this kind of, when you play certain snare drums, they have this, it's like you feel like you're chopping wood, or I don't know, you feel like breaking bricks. It feels, there's like this very solid sound. It reminds you of bricks or chopping wood, and the rim shots are like that. And the Maitama red badge has that feel to it. It's a very, if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically Stuart Copeland playing with the Police. He used a king beat snare, so it has this like cutting, chopping sound when you go into the rim shot world. And this one has that, but unlike the Tama red badge, this one adds that shimmer frequency, on top of that chopping thing, and it just is explosive. I'm pretty sure I could get that from my World Max, but the fact that this is lighter, in that this has the extra shimmer to it, that is that's just awesome. It's just a really, really nice thing. And resonance, which a lot of people might not, it seems like resonance is something that's not cool anymore. Everybody's putting clothes on the drums, and everybody's trying to muffle their heads as much as possible, and get this really dry sound, which is good in some cases. It's pleasing. However, from an artistic point of view, I like to hear the resonance. The resonance turns me on. When I hear the drums resonate, I react to that resonance. If it's dry, it's cool for a little while, but eventually you feel like you're hitting something that's not reacting, and you're going for it and going for it. Like, try playing a dry ride. Like, tape the crap out of your ride and see how frustrating it is to play a dry ride. Super dry. The fact that there's resonance, that's fuel for your own inspiration. You react to it, just like you would any kind of fuel, whether that being nutritional or for your ear, or for your stomach, or whatever. It is like that. That's what I think. So anyway, this also has an unbelievable rim click sound. It's exactly what you want it to be. And I'm not even like, I've just put my hand down. It's exactly what you want it to be. It just sounds, I think one of the things that's so nice about this drum is it's easy. And it's easy to get that sound. It's easy to tune it up. It's easy to get it to where you want it to get it. And that is a real big pleasure when you're playing drums. There's nothing worse than getting drums and having a difficult time tuning it up. It's so annoying to do that, and then eventually succumbing to tape or mufflers or whatever, or gels. The less I have to use to put on the drum, the happier I am. I would rather figure out how to tune it up properly and than having to muffle it, or having to. Although in some cases you just do, like the World Max, I have the tape, the golden tape trick on it, and my golden tape trick, which you'll probably be. I did a video about that. Should be coming out soon. Anyway, so I do the tape thing on that, and it works. This one, I don't really, for the moment, I don't want to. It sounds awesome. I guess it really depends on what room you're in. I'm also realizing that in the studio that I built here, the sound is just so amazing. The bass and the high ends really worked on a long time getting the sound to be. To make it very cultivating for playing. Around the room, I have, you can obviously see the square mousse that I put. There's nothing on the ceiling. It is a false ceiling, and I have carpets, wool carpets, so that's nice. The drums are sitting on a pine platform that I built, pine wood. I don't know what you call that. A little stage area, if you want, that I built. So under the drums, the immediate thing is wood. Under that's tiles. So that is obviously a lot of reflection, which I had to deal with. And then around the room, it's cork, rolled cork, on the 3 walls. And that is just really, really nice. I highly recommend that. The cork is on concrete walls, and then to deal with a little bit of the noise from the cymbals, because my drums are up against this wall. I have that right there. That big white square is a canvas, which is awesome. That's a great thing. Put pictures up in your room. Canvas, I like it white, but it adds air. It traps sound between the canvas and the wall. Obviously, works out well, and it's right behind the cymbals. And down there, you can't see it. There's the wool carpet, so the cymbals, I've been working on trying to get this to be as nice as possible. So sounds in here, I just love how sounds are. If you want to see what that sounds like, I recorded an album in this room, in the studio room. Called Chet's Blue. There was an upright bass player in here and a vintage Fender Rhodes, and we recorded in this room, and it sounds awesome. It sounds so great. So check that out, Chet's Blue. That's my new jazz trio. Homage to Chet Baker and Bill Evans. But anyway, and I don't want to show anything yet. I'm going heavily into my new Premier drums that I got, and they're just blowing my mind. It's that's another video. But in the meantime, I wanted to just talk a lot about this Premier drum, the 1026. Wow. It's become my new favorite drum. And bless them, because it's whatever they sought out to do, competing with the Superphonic. I got no desire to find another drum. This is just amazing. It has everything I want, and it's very versatile. Obviously, I mean, you can change the tunings. I have it to pretty much, you know, standard sensitive tuning. Um, uh, just couldn't be happier with it. So I'll be taking this to work now, and that's it. So the good news is, if you can find a 1026 snare, they're generally a lot cheaper than the Superphonic. But you get, the quality is just amazing. You know, for example, like, check this out. Look at this. You go, what is that? So this, it's really cool, actually. It's something very, you know, it's just a nice little, it's very aesthetical. So this is for the extended, the extra plastic you have. See? That little thing. I've never seen that on any drum. It's like, wow, that's kind of cool. It reminds you of an old drum. Anyway, so you can put this in there, and it makes it look nice. I don't know, you know. Anyway, so it's very, very cool. Could not be happier, obviously, in the chrome, you know. So if you can get your hands on this Premier 1026 snare, just unbelievable. This says, this one is, wow, it's one of the first 5,000 ever made. I don't know how many they made. 4144. Isn't that a song? I don't know. Premier. Been with me since ever. And the throw off is so awesome. The throw off is, Ludwig throw offs are typically very flimsy feeling. On my Acrolite, you're kind of like, what? You know? They feel good, they work well, but they don't inspire confidence when you use them. They inspire some kind of fragile feel to them. Even though they work, they're great. This one, I love it has a little bit more oomph to it, and it works really well. It has a nice click, and the metal here, they didn't, like the Ludwigs, you feel like it's monkey metal. That term's used when it's metal that's you know, kind of, it's lighter gauge. It's kind of it's not the serious metal used in triple flanged, you know, rims, or the steel in snares. And this feels like that as well. This feels like it's the real deal gauge metal in your hands, and that's something you just kind of feel when you're using it. So I mean, that's great. There's nothing worse than playing with the drum and just not feeling reassured by your throw off. So that works well. You notice, that's one of the first things I noticed, that the rim, there's a cutaway here, and it's not a hole, you know, which is curious. I like that a lot. It's a lot easier to get this out. It's not a big deal, you know, but it is easier. Man, you know, talk about just awesome. Love it. Everything's original, and it's still shiny as crazy. You know, it's just crazy shiny. What do I have here? Remos. Yeah, ambassadors. So and there's inside there, you see, yeah. So you see the lugs, right? Okay. There's only one screw inside holding them in. And it goes right through the beaded spot, right through the center. So why am I saying that? Well, because that adds to its sound. When you have 2 screws, if you have 3, if you have other stuff on the shell, all that stuff adds. So I have to look, I'm going to look into the Supraphonic and see how they did. But if this is supposed to be the response to, meaning they checked out the dimensions of the Supraphonic and made one as close to, then theirs technically should also have 1 screw. I don't know to what degree they did to what degree they made it the same. I don't know. But it's very much like a relationship between Toyota and Ford, in my opinion. Premier has been around for a very long time, since 1922, and they were making drums in 1922. You have other companies that have been around longer, but they were not making drums when they started out. Like, for example, Slingerland. They were making banjos at the time. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was Slingerland. And they started making drums in the 30s. Sonar was making something else. They too started making drums later on. Gretsch, however, when they came out, 19 something, they were making, I want to say in the teens, they were making drums and guitars. So as far as the oldest companies go that were actually making drums and not some other instrument, you have Ludwig, Gretsch, Slingerland, Ludwig, Gretsch, Premier, Noble and Cooley. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't found other companies making drums older than those. So Premier is definitely up there on the top 5. Like I said, you'll find companies that existed before Premier and some of the other ones, but they were not making drums at that time. I'm also going to be doing, as far as I can go with it, an in-depth look at Premier and their history, because they have such a crazy history, especially when World War II comes around. Anyway, great drums. If you can find one of these 1026 drums, you will be really thrilled with what it does, and at half the price, whatever, as compared to Supraphonic. Get your hands on one. If it's not damaged, I don't think you'll ever get rid of it. I won't. Not mine. That's what it looks like, 1026. More soon. Hopefully I'll get myself together and get a good camera for sound. I'm using my crappy phone. So I'm trying to figure out the best thing to do for that. But anyway, to capture the sound that's actually happening in this room. And that's it. Hope you all stay safe. It's a crazy world out there right now. In France, it's crazy. But we're moving along. More news soon. Happy drumming. Ciao.